So I was intro. Hello, everybody. So I was introduced to an idea recently by Dr. Andy Galpin. He was on Tom Billio's show Impact Theory, and it's been playing on my mind a lot. So I wanted to discuss it in our group here and maybe get some feedback from you. And this idea, I heard it in passing, but it stuck with me ever since. I think I was doing my makeup or something and I had it playing in the background. And when he said this, I went, whoa. You know when you hear something and you go, whoa. And it has stuck with me ever since. So I wanted to bring it up today, being our Monday mindset and motivation in our group here. The idea, and don't quote me directly, but so Andy and Tom were talking about incentives and what gets people motivated and inspired and going with weight loss and keeps them going. And Dr. Galpin said, and again, don't quote me, but it was along the lines of, well, the incentive is just not there anymore. It's no longer enough incentive for people to become sick or end up on medication or in hospital. Like, it's not enough incentive for people to take action on their health and their weight loss anymore. So really the bottom line is, then if that's not enough incentive to the prospect of becoming very ill or ending up on medication, then what is the incentive? And it stuck with me because for long, obviously in the business I'm in, people come to me saying, I don't want to end up on medication. I don't want to stay on medication for life. I don't want to get cancer. I don't want to end up in a nursing home, whatever it is. But the tables have definitely turned, and I had noticed it, but I hadn't noticed it, if that makes sense. I knew this was happening, but only when he said it, I was like, oh yeah, this is true, this is happening. So what is the incentive for people to lose weight and prioritize their health now? And I'm well aware that this video is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, and I do encourage you to check out the episode of Impact Theory. It is very impactful, and not everyone is going to like to hear this, but it's something I think we need to address when we look at the statistics that keep coming out. Like 85-90% of people have metabolic issues. Only 5% of people keep the weight loss off long term. And these statistics are scary. And without statistics, honestly, all we have to do is look around. The pharmaceutical companies are obviously doing very well, while humans are not doing so well. And I've for long said, I really think people need to hit, a lot of people, not everyone, a lot of people really need to hit rock bottom. That's their incentive to say, no, like, this is it. There's no more going back. I have to change. And that's what happened to me in 2006. I was at rock bottom. I've told my story many times. I was at my heaviest weight. I was very, very unhappy. I was binge eating. I had a new baby, and that was it. It had to change. And I have never looked back. Obviously, since 2008, I'm maintaining not just my body, but my health as well. So that was like, my incentive was like, I don't want to be this unhappy. I hated how I felt. I hated. And I also had a new baby, so I wanted to be my best for that baby. So there was that motivational factor as well. But then as I kind of got the ball rolling, that further fueled my drive and my motivation. So I do think a lot of people do have to hit rock bottom to never turn back. When you hit rock bottom, I think not only does it get you going, but you remember that feeling of rock bottom forever, and you'll never ever go back there. So that, I suppose, is there levels of rock bottom? If so, I hit the deepest one, and I never ever, and I still to this day, I've spoken widely about body dysmorphia, and I still body check, and those are on my YouTube channel. maybe on the podcast, but I'm still open, like just because I'm at my maintenance and I'm still motivated to stay here and keep improving myself, I still have my issues. But what do you think it takes now for people to, I'm going to be so bold, and again, this is going to ruffle some feathers, but I think we need to have this conversation. What do you think it's going to take for people to have enough incentive to take their health seriously, to really prioritize it, which is the topic on our post this morning in the group? Really, really focus, maintain that focus, maintain the motivation, maintain the consistency, because consistency and adherence, apart from sleep being number one, when we look at fat loss, if you don't have consistency and adherence, well, it's not going to work. You have to be consistent and adherent to whatever your plan is. But what is the incentive for really people to start taking care of themselves? And I'm not talking about this group specifically, I'm talking about the population as a whole. It seems to me that people are not taking their own health seriously. It's not a priority. It seems to me that people are okay with the prospect of, oh, it's okay, if I get sick, I'm just going to go on medication. If my blood pressure spikes, it's okay, my doctor can give me medication for that. If I get diabetes, it's okay, I can get insulin or medication for that. Like, that feels like the attitude that's out there. And obviously I'm choosing my words because this is a sensitive topic, but again, we need to talk about this because, as I've said many times, when I started my weight loss journey back in 2006, we were at our heaviest ever and people were most unhealthy ever. And then as time went on, when the paleo diet came in, and Atkins of course, people were sicker than ever. And that didn't change. And then keto came in and everyone was like, yeah, this is it. This is going to change metabolic issues forever. And keto's been around for what, 10 years now? Maybe a bit longer in regards to general population, not in the medical aspect. And now we're sicker and heavier than ever. So those protocols didn't help. Something has to change. And I really think it's attitude, and that's a bold statement to reach the population. Not that this video would ever reach the broader population, but that we need to change our attitude. And if that's the case, what is that incentive? And for some people, it is just, okay, so I'm going to Las Vegas in 3 weeks, so I'm going to be like, obviously I do what I do, but that's my incentive. I want to feel good going to Las Vegas. I want to look good. Obviously there's going to be some beautiful women around me. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. That's incentive to me. For other people, it's a wedding. That's their incentive, to lose the weight for a wedding. Other people, I've had people approach me about graduation. I have, of course, had people come back and say, look, I'm just over cancer. I never want to go back there. Please help me become my healthiest. That's their incentive. But that's a small amount of people. That's a small percentage. For the broader population, what's the incentive? What do you think? I would love feedback on this. I would love comments, because right now I'm stumped. There is a lot of research on financial incentive, and I may talk about that now over the next coming weeks. But if it's not incentive enough to prevent getting sick or going on medication or developing diabetes or cancer or whatever in the future, if that's not enough incentive, what is the next incentive? Like, where do you go after that? So I suppose I was putting this video out to start the conversation. What do you think? Because I'm kind of stumped. Like, where do we go after this? Is it financial? Is there government intervention? Like, I'm not quite sure. So maybe you can give me some comments, some feedback, and we can see where it leads us. But again, when Andy Galpin, Dr. Andy Galpin said this, I was like, oh my God, he's right. He is right. Where is the incentive? What's going to be enough incentive to get people to take their health seriously? Anyway, I hope this gets you thinking. I hope we can have a conversation over this. And take care of yourself. Have a great day. Goodbye.